Welcome to another edition of Raising the Bar. I'm your host, Alan Pickert. Today's show is sponsored by Terrell Hogan Law, a premier boutique all-purpose litigation firm located in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. I have a special treat today. Today we have Charlie Jimerson. Charlie is not only the CEO of his law firm, but he's also a good friend of mine that I've had the privilege of knowing for almost 30 years. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Pick, good to be with you.
So Charlie, tell us what your law firm does, my friend.
We are a full-service business law firm, and probably the easiest way to think about it is we have lawyers that handle almost any issue a business encounters. So whether it's transactions, litigation, regulatory issues, operational issues, we've got we've got supply for the demand.
There you go. And one of the few things that people don't know, and you're too humble to say it, so I'm going to tell them, is you're actually board certified in construction litigation law, are you not?
That's right, yeah.
So if someone has a construction case, they should seriously consider calling you. Now, what I don't know, is that only from like the builder side, or is that also from like the individual person who feels like the construction didn't go well?
No, we have experience to handle any aspect of it. So whether it's the front end part of it for the contracting piece, or the project administration piece in the middle, or any of the fallout from closing out a project, perhaps there's payment issues, perhaps there's defective construction, myriad issues that could touch construction projects. So we've handled it from any perspective that you can conceive, whether it's a developer, whether it's an owner, whether it's a design professional, a general contractor, trade contractors, sureties, etc.
And I bet that's a real welcome to them, because if anybody has ever tried to build a house or a garage or anything, you know all the problems and issues that come with it. So having somebody like yourself that they can call and bounce things off of and then say, okay, they didn't do what they were supposed to do, help me.
Sure. Yeah, that's construction projects aren't a lot of fun for anybody involved, inclusive of the people actually performing the work. And just issues arise. So there's some complications. The more complex the construction, the more issues that tend to arise. And hopefully our team is able to provide sage counsel to be able to work through any of those issues in a real sensible way.
So one of the things that I need to tell the viewers is Charlie is not only an excellent lawyer, but arguably one of the best CEOs I know. He has literally built his company from the ground up. So tell us about Jimerson Birr. Tell us how many lawyers there are, how many staff you got. Tell us where you're located.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks, Pig. I mean, too kind. So this is our 16th year, and we've grown it to, I should know the exact numbers, but we're right around 30 lawyers, and we're, I don't know, maybe 70 or so employees.
Wow.
We've got offices around the state, headquartered here in Jacksonville. We're actually just moving our headquarters. We've been in downtown in the former Independent Life Wells Fargo building, and bought a building in Riverside. So we'll be moving our team there for our hub and spoke model. But okay. It's been a growing platform, and most importantly, a lot of great relationships have been built over the years.
You have done numerous cases and been very successful in almost all of them. My question to you is, do you have one or two that kind of stand out as, your favorite?
Oh, gracious. So I think anytime that you can overcome insurmountable odds, those are the ones that really resonate. I've won a $250 million trial, $45 million trial, multiple $10+ million trials. So like the complexity of those type of cases always, it lingers in your memory bank. I would argue it takes years off of your life too. The one that really sticks out to me is when I represented a bank, and there was a gentleman, you could look him up on the internet, Jose La Antigua, who faked his death, and we represented a bank that clawed back a couple $1 million of assets that had been that the bank was defrauded on by this individual who faked his death.
Now, for a commercial business litigation case, that's pretty darn interesting.
Oh, it's the best cocktail party case that I've ever had. I mean, when it was over, it was probably maybe 10 years ago. But I definitely had to look in the mirror a moment saying, I don't think I'm going to have a case that cool ever again in my career.
Your wife probably tells you what my wife tells me, which is, let's not talk any legal business. Everybody gets the kind of glazed eyes at the dinner party, whatever. But that would be a good story to tell for sure.
I actually flew up to New York and got interviewed by Dateline on this particular case.
Really?
But it got hacked at the last minute. I guess it wasn't sexy enough for them, but it had it all. I mean, for a commercial case, it had it all.
Well, in Raising the Bar, you're not going to get hacked.
All right, very good.
And I know Raising the Bar here at Dateline is a little bit below that, but anyway, so I'm glad we could exceed that. So for your expectations,
Keith Morrison's got nothing on you.
There you go. There you go. What do you do to kind of get away from it all? How do you de-stress from, because I know you're not only handling the cases, but I know, like I said, I think you are arguably one of the best CEOs of any company I've ever seen.
Wow.
I mean, you run it very, very well. You're very efficient. You're very hands-on. What do you do to kind of say, hey, I need to take a step back and kind of focus on me? What kind of hobbies, or what do you like to do?
Well, there's a lot of different directions I could take that. The essence of that question is, how do you de-stress? For me, I plan for balance, so I put a lot of intentional thought into the way that I work, not only in my professional life but in my private life. So it starts out with a great plan, and then you got to be disciplined in the way that you execute the plan. So for me, having balance is de-stressing. If I've got priorities that I need to work on, and for me, priorities are family first, profession second, stewardship of the community third, and personal health and wellness fourth, and you've got a plan that you execute on daily, you can actually touch all of your priorities. And there's consistent exercises that I go through to recalibrate that balance piece. The personal side of thing, I'm pretty invested in my kids and my family. I really don't have a whole lot of time for things outside of work and family, and I really try to engage in all my kids' activities. I finished coaching last year. I had coached 34 seasons of youth sports.
Oh my God.
So I got pretty burnt out on that. But that was fun. It was something I will look back on with fondness. And now I'm just really supporting my kids. My daughter's 14, my son's 12, and I've got only a few more years of them in the house, perceivedly, and I want to maximize that time. So it's really all about having as many conversations and experiences with them as I can possibly genocize.
We probably should have you back on the show in 3 years when they're 15 and 17 and see if I get a different answer.
Yeah, well.
Those teenagers, starting around 15, things start, no matter what you do, seem to kind of go, whew.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, my daughter's 14, and I got to tell you, I don't feel like I can do anything right. It doesn't matter how hard I try.
Welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome to the club. So, your background and how you got into the law is very interesting to me, and it's kind of unique. Tell the viewers about that a little bit.
Sure, thanks. So enlisted in the military right out of high school, and I was a combat meteorologist in the Air Force. So
you're the first combat meteorologist I have ever met, by the way.
It's a small group. I think we were the most critically manned career field when I first enlisted, and that somehow I stuck. I'm not sure, but I worked with the Army, and we did a lot of really great things, and I had the opportunity to get some wonderful life experiences and do a little bit of traveling under duress, and then had an opportunity to finish my undergraduate education while I was enlisted in that first 4 year that became a 5-year enlistment, and went to law school chasing a dream. I once thought I wanted to be a sports agent because maybe I liked the movie Jerry Maguire at some point in time.
Show me the money.
Yeah,
Show me the money.
And then I realized that there's other ways to make an impact and make a buck.
Oh, fantastic! Absolutely fantastic. For our viewers out there, if they want to call, how do they get in touch with you?
If you go to our website, jimersonfirm.com, you can find out more about who we are, what we do, and most importantly, what we're all about.
Well, Charlie, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
This has been another edition of Raising the Bar. Have a good day. Thank you.